So let's start a recording now, since the party has reminded me that there are indeed things that they were supposed to do as homework.
What? No.
Before we move on to that, I'm gonna put Jackalor and Demi on the spot because they still need to come up with a way those two met. Oh, by the way, our man says epic. Werewolves are like Germany in World War II.
Okay.
Like competent, powerful, technologically advanced, and utterly screwed all the same.
That is pretty funny.
Like, you might have this amazing panzer, but I have these 50 Bruja with bayonets. Good luck!
Wow. Where does he have 50 Bruja?
I mean, all you need is one 12th gen Bruja and 50 scrubs from the street!
Yep. All of a sudden you have 50 Bruja. Fucking Sabat.
You are about to... There is a simple deal here, children. You have been gifted with immortality, and all you have to do is beat some assholes up. Those of you who survive get to join the Camarilla. Good luck. May the odds be ever in your favor. Here's your silver weapons. Wait, what?
And they discover apparently these silver weapons don't cut against some of these people for some reason. The fuck?
I don't think bludgeoning weapons do aggravated damage.
They do if they're made of silver.
Oh, really?
They
But
do.
the thing is, the gift I'm talking about literally stops it from doing anything.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, come on. No, bullshit. You can still bludgeon them with it.
Really? Never mind, that's not near as powerful as I thought.
I would rule it as, yeah, like you can stop it from cutting, you can stop it acting as a tool, but something that has a silver surface is still something that has a silver surface. It might turn into a -1 bludgeoning weapon, but it would still deal ag.
Deal worse than ag. Dude, it's unsoakable ag. Yay.
Yeah. So,
Well,
Jackalor, Demi, let's open up your timelines and see when you might have met each other. Let's see. You started being in cities in your new world from 1780s, and Jackalor was acting as a long-range agent from 1760 to 1800. So anywhere from there to when the Sabbath invasion happened in 1860. Though I recommend towards the earlier side of that time, just in case you have things planned with interacting with Jackalor, or he has with you.
I try, like, I could technically see such a scenario with everybody else. I just can't with a Jackler. Jackler, do you have any idea?
I mean, sometimes 1790 I was like traveling somewhere, there's a met a random gangrel out there that decides to say fuck me.
You know what? Sure, you ended up being in the same hotel when you stopped for the night in a small town. You were, well, Jackalor just doesn't know how to live in the wilderness, and you were hungry for some music and company. And there the motherfucker was, with normies around. Probably a couple of ghouls with him, acting like a real hoity-toity cunt.
Real quick!
Bless you.
Debbie,
Bless you.
Are you going to enter the bar like a Western? You know?
Claws at the sides twitching.
You know, entering the bar like a Western, it's pretty cool. I might do that.
Would have Auspex 3 by then.
I expect so.
Yeah, probably. Though my perception empathy still sucks.
Actually, you don't need Auspex 3, you need Auspex 2, Auspex 3, Spirit's Touch.
No, the difficulty 8 roll, oh my fucking god.
You would have been able to detect him. You would
Fair
have
enough.
had ghouls with you. One of them probably would have had Auspex 2.
Yeah, okay.
So yes, he would have been pointed out to you, or you would have
I
noticed
think you'd have
him.
noticed that someone enters through the door if he enters like a fucking western.
Is that how you always enter bars, Demi? Just kick open the door and stand silhouetted against the light from the street lamps every time?
Only when I'm getting to new places. Places places where I've probably been a bit more normal, entering. But first impressions, man, gotta love them.
God's fucking damn it.
The guy elder enters the bar.
I mean, I don't really have aspects. I don't think I can notice Jackler back. So I
Oh
think
yeah,
Jackler
you totally can. It's yeah.
You would at this point know what to look for, and he is relatively low humanity, so unless he was specifically blushened up, he would look like a vampire. Especially as he's at this point centuries old, so he can't really pass for human that effectively without blushening up.
Okay then.
Neither can you, by the way. I am forgiving on that for neonates because you're freshly corpsed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna have in game. I'm gonna have a tendency to blush up when I'm going to heavy mortal places. So I think I would have been blushed up at this point. At least try. But seeing as there's a low, if I can notice this high humanity, I might just sort of sit a little bit far away from him, sort of just being suspicious, not really reacting to him first of all, just seeing what he does.
And what would you do, Jackalor?
I mean, if I notice that if I do in fact notice that he is a
Assume
vampire,
that you
I mean,
have noticed, yes. There's
Yeah.
probably someone scanning for that with you.
yeah, I will be like, okay, think we'll be leaving soon.
Since this is a place you were settling in to spend the day in,
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah. That's
you
true.
might have a couple of extra hours, so you might be able to make it to the next town. But given that he's here, and he's watching you discreetly already, leaving for the wilderness where there are no witnesses might be a bad
Yeah.
idea. With a Tremere hating Ancile right there, waiting to rip your face off.
Yeah, let's not. Let's not leave. Just fine here,
Probably after some time of curiosity, I might just sort of start not focusing on him too much, and then start, hanging out with the other, kind, and probably just playing some music at that point. Just going he doesn't seem to be doing anything instantaneously bad. Let's just keep it that way.
Shaking my
So
boots.
would both of you be okay with staying in the same inn with a strange vampire you haven't even spoken to?
I mean, preferably I'd not be, but
You do have Dominate. You could just force your way into someone's house.
yeah, but not with. If he starts following me, that'd be a bad idea.
I mean, there's just one of him and you have two ghouls with you.
Let's try it. I don't know how powerful he is.
That's right, he's a vampire. You don't know if he's similar age or a neonate or what.
For all you could know, he could be a neonate scrub. For all I could know, he could be a fucking
He is
Azusa
not a
that just-
neonate. You have Auspex. I'm assuming you're getting at least 2-3 success. You can tell. Probably at least a century or two old.
Yeah, no, fuck no, I'm not fucking shit up right when he's nearby.
Okay, so you
Good
both
decision.
just barricade yourselves in your rooms.
He's
Okay.
gonna try and come to get me to hunt me down. He's gonna try and come and get me to hunt me down. The same thought, opposite lines.
Okay. God's fucking damn. Because this will affect how this will go down, and because your roll sucks on that, Demi,
Yeah.
give me perception alertness at 8.
Okay. Not the greatest at that, but good. 8, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Okay, you don't notice any Tremere clan symbology on him.
Okay. All I know that is basically he's a bit
Vampire.
of a cuck. Vampire cuck, basically.
I mean, they probably have those fancy fucking coats or something with them. You know, just like 3 dark assholes. Were those already in
In fashion?
Yeah.
I don't think they were like 18th century. Yeah.
So yeah, they would be. So think Phantom of the Opera and think the most faggoty cloak thing that you can imagine, Demi. That's what he and his ghouls are wearing. So that narrows it to Toreador, Ventru, or possibly Tremere. Maybe La Sombra if they're really vain cunts.
Which is totally
I mean,
possible.
out of character, like if we had to go on a general rule, like are Toreadors like mostly high humanity, or are they still mixed? Like, what's the
It's mixed,
mix-
probably.
They would be mixed. They can still give a fuck about the art without giving a fuck about humans. They could just approach it as their personal high.
Okay.
On average, they would be about like half a point above the average on humanity scale, maybe. Like a full point ahead of the Bruja average. Probably, because Bruja are violent assholes. So, slight difference, but enough to be noticed, I guess.
Well, he hasn't been causing me much trouble. I'm not gonna just not stir shit up when not really needed. I am gonna be cautious throughout the night, of course, but not really interfering too much with him. If he's going somewhere, I'll be going somewhere as well.
You're gonna follow him?
No, I'm not gonna follow him. Like, no, I'm thinking like if he has his place to go, I have my own place to go.
Yeah.
Let's not make shit up.
You're on the same floor. There's like 3 rooms between you.
I'm staying neutral unless Jackler wants to do something.
I'm not fucking with another vampire. I want
Okay.
to keep my own life, please and thank you.
So, next evening, you would wake first by a large margin, Demi, and he would show up like 45 minutes, half an hour later, so you know he's a lot more inhumane than you. Noticeably so.
You know what? I want to get some interaction, right? And so it's not just neutral, so it's not a
I
waste.
mean, this city is essentially considered, Badlands. Vampires don't permanently live here. And Camarille's membership is more of a formality for Gangrel, so you could just go, hey, I'm independent, die Camarilla asshole, and then be member when you reach the next Camarilla city again.
No. I was thinking like, since he's low on humanity, and I, tend to not like people who are low on humanity. I'm thinking like, should I wait for him to wake up and sort of have a discussion on how you're supposed to be humane. You're going on a bad road, man.
God. Now I'm gonna have to assume that he's probably an elder. Cause, oh my fucking god.
Okay, so
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
So when you are coming down the stairs, he's just waiting there at the bottom, arms crossed.
Holy fucking shit! What the fuck? I don't want any trouble here. Just gonna take my leave now. Hopefully, I didn't intrude on your territory.
Like, I'm gonna like. Is he? By the way, are you talking to me, Jackal, right now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna, stop crossing my arms. I'm just gonna go. Please sit down for a second.
Stay away
Okay.
and listen.
I'll take a sit down.
The ghouls
Preferably the
follow
chair closer to the door.
him along. Meanwhile, have placed their hands on their revolvers. Probably there were revolvers at this point, weren't there?
Yeah.
There
Totally.
were, but they're pretty bad. They're pretty
Yeah.
bad.
Doesn't
Oh, wait,
matter.
what
Guns
year
in
is this?
general are pretty bad.
They wouldn't use swords, I think. Well, would they?
Yeah, I don't.
Actually,
Like,
you know what? No. These are the fucking Tremere. They have their hands on their sword canes. The way they're holding them, it's clear they're weapons.
Okay, sweet.
The
What year was this?
1780.
Yeah, it's
1790.
actually pretty unlikely you'd have a personal firearm of a pistol variety. So it'd probably be swords.
Yeah. Would they be enchanted against vampires? I don't know. It's pretty high level ritual.
Dracula, if you
Well,
want
anyway.
to slice at him, assume that yes, they could have had Burning Blade put on them for emergency use only.
Yeah, okay.
Wow,
I'm not gonna try and slice it at them, which is mostly just oh god.
I'm just not okay. So this is how I'm going to be. I'm going to first reinsure. Listen. I don't mean no harm. We've both been. I've seen me being suspicious to you, you being suspicious of me, but I'm going to assure you, I don't really want any harm or trouble. I just noticed that you seem to be going on the wrong path, going closer to the beast.
You know
And-
what? At this point, if you want to make a case for that, we're not gonna necessarily go into specifics, but you can make a roll
Sure.
for charisma empathy, since I assume you're trying to appeal to him.
Yeah. So does enchanting voice help here?
It does, Jackalor. I assume that your willpower is tied up in being a conniving, self-serving asshole, so you will
Yes.
roll counter to this with willpower.
Okay. So is my difficulty then 4?
I'm not sure because
I'd do it as a 6 and justify it as it's so against Jackalor's
nature.
stuff that it's just harder to try and convince him more or less whatsoever of this. So original difficulty 8, basically.
Okay, that seems fair.
give me
So
a
I'll just-
second. Let me think my way through this.
Sure, go
Because
ahead.
this is... Okay, so there's an argument for lowering Demi's difficulty. My gut reaction here is to just make it a flat 5 for both of you because, first of all, Jackalor is also an experienced vampire, so he pays less attention to appearances at this point, I would assume, because he knows that that kind of seductive shit is... He's not immune to it, but he's learned to watch it. And at the same time, lowering the difficulty on willpower, that makes sense because this is essentially against his nature in every single fucking way.
Sure.
So yeah, how about we go with that?
Okay. Last thing I want to see is a specialty for charisma. Would smooth talker also apply, or no?
Not for this.
Okay. So yeah, difficulty 5 charisma empathy for me.
Yes. And difficulty 5 willpower from Jackalor.
Oh my fucking
Nope.
god.
You just
you're not
see
convincing him.
cold steel in his eyes.
I'm just gonna, at this point, I'm just gonna sigh. Does it really have to be this way?
You know,
I'm-
with that, one of the ghouls, because that sounds like preparation for attack, just draws like 2 inches of steel from his sword cane.
There's no need for that. I think I'll be taking my leave now. If you would
I as
allow.
well. I as well will leave. I'm just here to more as well give a hint that if you continue this path, trust me, you won't have a good time. Not from me, of course. I'm talking in general. Farewell, and I'll leave.
You know, I think going out of town, probably on foot, you just see the carriage drive past and then you see the Tremere clan symbol on it.
Also, right after
I'm just gonna be like, well, that fucking explains everything.
I'll just, gonna, after he has left, you say, well, I hope we don't meet again.
Cunt.
Okay, so you have had a chance to think. Let's go around the table. Epic, you were reluctant to speak of your ideas previously, so we'll start with you.
Hey guys, you got any ideas?
Oh, it was 2 each.
I know there's been 2 weeks. I've literally been thinking about this and discarding ideas and thinking other ideas and then discarding those ideas.
Well, these aren't the only things you would have necessarily done with each other. These are just the high points of your relationship, though.
Even that, I'm having a hard time thinking of stuff that my character would be, working closely with the other ones. Besides maybe Demi. And that's more of Demi acting as a guard most of the time.
Do you have a cult, real quick, Epic?
I have basically all the knowledges.
I mean, when I say do you have a cult, do you have like a lot of a cult, or would you need like? Would there be times where you?
Oh
need
my
special
fucking god!
information?
That's how you could have been thrown together with Demi Jackalor, cause he knows shit. It's like the prince is like, listen, fuckers. You are gonna figure this out, and you are gonna tell me what the fuck is going on.
I have 2 dots of occult. It's not a ton, but it's an alright amount.
Yeah.
You might want to. You might at some point ask like if the Tremere would want to give you info on something that they've given you me or something, but.
Okay, so you have nothing so far, Epic?
I've literally thought of a ton of stuff and then discarded it as unnecessary / not particularly applicable.
Okay.
Like, I've thought of, having a challenge with the Tremere. Jackalor comes with me and I introduce him to one of the smartest and most antisocial, technologically moving Malkavians. Stuff like that. But, hey.
Yeah. Okay. Bacon, what about you? Do you have your homework?
No.
Fucking
What are you talking
excuse
about?
me?
This one was hard. We needed to talk to each other to try and come up with something, okay?
Yeah, we do totally talk to each other, right, Epic?
Yeah, we need to talk. Like, yeah, let's just, take a 50-minute break, talk to each other, see what we come up with.
You mother...
Yeah.
Demi, do you have anything ready?
I don't do homework. I'm not a loser.
Oh my fucking god, Demi!
So what I'm hearing is that everyone is losing a point of backgrounds every time I ask for this, and you haven't thought of anything yet.
I will give you just a stupid shit thing if you start doing that.
Same.
It'll be applicable, technically. But I'm trying to think of something decent. And that's not working yet.
Jackalor, do you have anything ready?
I mean,
Don't lie, you piece of shit. We know you don't.
of course I don't. What fuck were you thinking I was gonna? I mean,
Motherfuckers! I
Look, this
reminded
homework
you
was too
every
hard.
fucking time I talk to you to get it in chat, in voice, in everything.
We know, dude.
I tried, okay?
It's not easy. I told you, I have a lot of situations in my head, but none of them seem particularly important.
Well, it doesn't need to be important as long as it establishes a relationship between you guys. It doesn't have to be
Positive one or
like it doesn't have to
Okay.
be something that is earth-shatteringly important to the Camarilla or to the city you're in, as long as it creates a situation where you are interacting with some of the others.
Okay. I have an idea then.
Okay.
So, the Tremere were harping on about how, you know, they're the most intellectual clan. They have the smartest people. They specifically, like, you know, do all their shit for it. And when they were going around and just, you know, bragging all about that in court, my character was around and like, I think I know someone smarter than you.
Bruh. Bruh.
I would then go and see about introducing them to a very antisocial, very, very smart, crazy Malkavian that is making just crazy shit in the countryside.
Okay. I think that you would be called in, Jackalor, as a independent agent, probably at that point.
yeah.
And it would be like, okay, so these couple of young Tremere who have sort of kind of a very basic chantry are pissing off some elders, and it looks like it might explode because they're now pissing off two elder Malkavians. Go and fix it!
Oh god.
And when you get there, it's that fucking little girl.
Oh my fucking god.
Bruh.
It's that bitch again.
If I believed in God, I'd be making the sign of the cross now.
Hey! Nice to meet you again. How's things been going?
Hello again. Things have been going just fine.
Oh, whoops.
You said I should meet someone here?
I mean, this would be essentially once the little girl had already pissed off the local neonates.
Yeah, I'm assuming we're like outside the farm or something where he is at, or the guy is at, or something.
Okay, let me set the scene so we're clear. So, timeline goes. Uppity neonates piss people off, the Malkavian gets pissed, brings in another elder Malkavian, and now it looks like it's heading towards a war between the Tremere and the Malkavian in that city. The Tremere don't like that. You are sent to fix it. You meet with said Malkavians, probably in Elysium, to try and decide how this could be fixed without anyone getting stabbed horribly.
Okay. That's it. And and you are the one and you are the one that's you're the inventor?
He is, yes. I had a name right here.
Just a hunched figure in rags, just scribbling something on tree bark.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to look up the name because I actually was doing my homework. I told you, I just had a lot of ideas I didn't think were particularly good.
Please don't make it a stock character.
I'm not. Let's see. Oh, there's that guy too. I'll just pick one of these random names right here. Not you. Fuck you. Oh, Kevin Dash? Sergey Vyakinoko. Neko. Ugh.
What?
Don't worry about it.
The little
Whatever.
girl
His name is
starts
Sergey. His
talking
name is
in tongues, so you've heard about this, Jackalor?
Did you say Sergey?
Yes, Sergey.
Okay, so good to meet you, Sergey. My name is William Durand.
He says something
Anyway.
like the shadow of many cut purses hovers over you.
Anyway. So I've been hearing some of the neonates had been talking ill of you.
Are you gonna sell your clan out and just admit fault, Jackalor?
No,
What
I'm
kind
just
of
gonna
a
go
fucking
throw those
agent
two
are
guys
you?
out, because those two are cunts, apparently.
You know this little girl. Are you really gonna give her any ground?
Yeah, no, fuck that shit. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. So what has he invented?
Oh, well, you know, just a few things, like going into, do you actually want me to use the real life counterpart for this? Because it's kind of whack.
Okay.
Because, Sergey, Bjarkenhoken was, he made the medical technology and everything. And he needed things to die for it, so he used animals. You might know him as the guy that made a dog live despite being decapitated.
Oh, that's not that surprising.
I looked up crazy scientists, okay?
Uh-huh. Yeah, glancing
So,
over, Jackalor, you see him drawing a diagram of your body in rough strokes now.
Okay. So he does medicine?
Particularly, yes. He's really, really good at it.
Okay.
He stands up and stands.
Just a second ago, I was 5 seconds away from just asking for him to show me something. Just like, no, let's not do that.
At this point in conversation, he's standing up and holding up a stick to your head, just measuring, scribbling, measuring, scribbling.
What is he doing?
Do you want to see a demonstration?
No, thank you. There's no need.
How are you supposed to be able to tell who's in the right and wrong then?
Like he could show me some of the designs.
What's
but I
right
don't
and
know.
wrong, precious? There's only power and the will to seize it.
No, I have no fucking medicine. Yeah, I don't have medicine. One of the few knowledges I actually don't have.
This is basically arcane lore to him.
Yeah.
So, Jackalor,
I know my fair share of arcane lore.
so the two of you, I assume, end up having a bunch of discussions with many other parties. How do you both approach winning this, essentially, engagement in the distant past?
I seek to bring forth the evidence that there is many knowledges worth pursuing. That the Tremere, while having much occult and such, do not, in fact, have all of the intelligent people. They tend to have the people that just are very interested in supernatural things.
Okay.
Logical, certainly.
And
Intelligent,
Jackalor,
usually.
how do you go about proving your point of view that the Malkavians are full of shit, I assume?
I mean, there are many great scientists that have been called mad, but generally they weren't actually mad, just seen as mad. You know? So
Sure.
I think that's a
so-
manipulation subterfuge to make the Malkavians look crazy. And you get charisma expression, and since you're bringing evidence, Vivian, I'll give you a -1 to that. This is, though... Well, actually, that would be a -2, because you also have Enchanting Voice.
So difficulty 4 was
Sadly, you did it on
6.
expression. One of the things I don't really do the greatest at. Oh well.
I'll check. What's well reasoned is my manipulation specialty.
I think that would apply.
Okay.
I mean,
I am persuasive, luckily.
yeah, I'll allow it.
So difficulty 6 for me.
Yeah.
Probably gonna... Oh, he might not win. Okay, so difficulty?
4 for you, because you have Enchanting
4.
Voice and you're also bringing evidence.
Okay, we'll see. We are equal.
That is absolutely horrible. Jackalor, you get recalled when a couple of Tremere tried to kill a Malkavian neonate.
Fucking hell.
You have failed in your objective.
You've done nothing to dispel the tensions in that. You just fought to a standstill and just until something went twang. And the higher-ups were like, oh shit, better get him out of there.
By the way, anyone that actually talked to them about what happened, they will know that he actually might have made things worse.
That's because you were trying too hard.
Hey, they were trying to besmirch the honor of Clan Tremere. He defended their interests, which was the spirit of the assignment.
I'm just trying to I was planning on trying to keep the status quo so people wouldn't kill each other, but no, you have to try too hard.
Go into a tense situation. Okay, I'm gonna have a stare down with the other elders. The Tremere neonates, you know, going, fuck yes, the clan sent backup. You know how that looks to them, right?
Fucking hell. Thought they were gonna be smart, but no.
They were bragging about being smart. Obviously, it's true, right?
Okay, so that was the first of Epic's ideas, I believe. So, who has another one for us? Jacklo just muted himself.
I was just...
Like,
I was just gonna,
nope.
take my knuckles. No, I was going to say that I might have given, like, at some point, like, Bacon was doing shit in a city I was in, and they just wanted, and he needed, he got an assignment where he needed occult information for it. So we just went asked Tremere, and the Tremere provided.
Mm-hmm. When did you meet with Bacon? Jackalor.
I think it was like...
it was after you
like
were already a
after
regent.
Yes, as a regent. At some point, at some point as a regent.
Okay. What do you think about that, Bacon?
I just came back, so thinking about what?
Jackalor essentially... One of the ideas being that essentially Jackalor was backing you up with occult information and possibly some magical shit as you were, you know, fighting the Sabbat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that would totally happen. I was thinking on suggesting that and doing favors for the Tremere in exchange for some information or magical help.
Okay, so... Well, I think this is a very similar thing. Then... Let's see, what works on Bacon's side for this? Actually, give me charisma intimidation, Bacon, because you probably would have been leading the war effort for this. Or have, people under you. So we're gonna treat it as how effective you are in terrifying your enemies and motivating your own troops. And Jackal, give us a intelligence occult, I think, for this.
Okay.
I have
Kindred lore would
physical.
apply, or
Kindred lore would apply, Bacon. What do you have?
I have physical coercion for intimidation.
I think repeatedly smashing shovelheads and letting one run away to warn the others of what's coming would count as physical coercion. At least I'll allow it in this case.
okay, I'll roll now.
So,
That's 5 successes. Wow, that's a lot of ones.
no, that's 6, Jackalor. And that's
yeah,
6
6,
for
not
Bacon.
more.
So,
Fuck.
well, I think it was when Bacon fell into torpor that the Sabbat were able to advance on New Orleans. Because while these two were working together... Actually, no. Bacon fell into torpor. Yeah, this would have been a fighting retreat for him. Probably. Because this is him after the torpor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was on torpor until the start of the 1800s.
Yeah. So this new regent, motherfucker, the things he can fucking do, that asshole. Okay.
Be an ass, but I'm good at what I do.
Make sure that you write down the ones that you're involved in, whether they were your idea or not, so you have a reference to that having happened, so you know to include that in your reckoning and for easy reference. So, that's 2. This was Jackalors, right? So, Demi. You can't blame the dog. You are the dog in this equation.
Thinking what else I do. I did Epic, Bacon, and Jack the meeting at least. Now I need some situations.
It can be more than one of the others.
I know. I'm
Actually,
just
all
thinking.
be together too. I was trying to think of some for that, but I can't think of anything my character would have been particularly a part of. So,
None of you are particularly involved necessarily.
I'm not exactly sure exactly what to do with my either. I'm not sure exactly. I guess I want to do something with Bacon now. Since I met Bacon in the old world, I am also kind of leaning toward meeting him again in the new world.
You started traveling around in a lot of Camarilla cities. Did you have a thing in New Orleans already?
What do you mean?
As in a meeting or interaction with someone?
I had with Bacon. I already had an introduction with him.
Yeah, but that was...
This is mostly like a second thing.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to establish a timeline, like whether you have been faffing around in the area of New Orleans.
Probably. Going everywhere, really.
Mm-hmm. So, let's compare your timelines. 1700s is the New World, and you met in the Old World.
Yeah, we met in the Old World. Alright, I have it written down here. I was dissing basically Venture Elysium in England when basically Bacon came and slammed me down.
Yeah, I'm thinking that there's relatively low chances of you running into him, between 1780 because you were mostly exploring the remnants of the old civilizations of the two continents. So you you started showing up more in cities, potentially coming up from the south and exploring the jungles there. So around the 1800s, you might have been in the area and occasionally picking off the occasional Sabbat, and that's where you might have run into Alan Percy.
Yeah. Alan, by the way, out of character, like Alan Percy is, yeah, that's Bacon. Was he also sort of hunting Sabbat at that point?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I guess we could find a situation where we were sort of mutually working together to hunt down some Sabbat. Like,
I mean,
even though I don't like the Ventru that much, the Sabbat are worse.
Like, it could have easily been a situation of you killing a couple of Sabbat and then, like, Alan Percy's troops realizing there's someone else killing Sabbat in the city and contacting you, and then you meeting him again.
That's a fair point.
Joining forces while you
work.
clean out a town somewhere, essentially.
I think that works. What about you, Bacon?
What? Repeat, I did not get what you said.
Joining forces while cleaning a town out from various Sabbat in some places. Like him killing Sabbat and you realizing there's someone else doing what you're doing there and getting in contact with him and teaming up.
Yeah, he would probably do that. Fighting together is more efficient.
The only thing I want to state before we actually meet is I don't think my character would exactly remember Bacon's character because it was a really short interaction, and I probably would have just,
Didn't he wreck your ass?
Yeah, I
did, but
Yeah,
I'm not sure
that would have probably stung.
fair.
It might
I
have
guess
taken you a couple of hours of talking, like, where are you from? And then, wait, aren't you that guy? Like 3 hours into a conversation about your past.
fair point.
But yeah, I think you would eventually realize.
Yeah, that's okay then.
So, let's see. Why don't you give me another charisma intimidation, Bacon? And why don't you give me a... I'm gonna say stamina plus fortitude plus brawl. Because you're a tough cunt.
Okay, stamina plus fortitude plus brawl. Difficulty 6, I presume?
Yes, and same for Bacon.
This is a stamina thing. I'm not sure how it's gonna be. I don't think tough bones helps in stamina, right?
Not necessarily in this. This is a more general thing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna roll it at 6 then.
I'm letting you use stamina because this is about you being a juggernaut on the battlefield, essentially unkillable.
Would the physical coercion work again? I also have eloquent on charisma, but don't think that would apply.
Not exactly
Eloquent
sure. Physical.
might apply better actually because, well, I need to look up the definition, but wouldn't that potentially help with wouldn't that help with inspiring the troops?
What in particular? Sorry, I was looking at other things.
Eloquent.
Eloquent? It can. It actually. I feel that the specialty of eloquent just kind of needs context on what they're saying more than what they are doing with it.
Clearly expressing or indicating something. Clearly expressing to the Sabbat that this town now belongs to the Camarilla through your actions, and convincing them that you will set the gangrel loose on them.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the second thing.
I think both apply halfway, so I'll let you use that. The gangrel helps with making it apply. He's physical coercion all on his own.
Okay, so I need to switch my specialty on that. I didn't think that's how eloquent would be done. I should have looked it up. I'm going to switch it to persuasive.
Epic, I'm being extremely flexible on this because these are the far past backstories. Don't use this as
Oh, no.
precedent for how I'll use it in play.
Yeah, okay.
So, after the gangrel shows up, a couple weeks later, God fucking damn it, Demi, and he drops out.
I broke from curse for a second.
Yeah, I noticed. So, a couple weeks after the gangrel shows up, the Sabbat just pretty much as soon as they realize what is happening now, they pack up and leave. They just nope the fuck out of there with those rolls. Just nope. Done. Nope. Fucking old world monsters. You know, when someone comes screaming at you curses in old Swedish, and your daughter goes, oh, that's from like the 14th century. Everyone's like, oh. that kind of leaves an impression.
Decibelt.
Fuck you, Demi. So now we just need an idea from Bacon, I think, to cover the first round of ideas.
Let's see. I still need to interact with Vivian again. So
It doesn't matter who you specifically interact with, though I would say that you shouldn't have the exact same configuration for the second event as you did for the first one. Other than that, it can be anyone.
well, the clan could send me to deal with the Malkavian annoying some people, and they sent a guy that is good at talking to try to deal with the situation.
They could, but at the same time, well, it depends on when it happens, but generally speaking, for most of your life in the New World, you're past the point where you're easily told to go somewhere and do something by your clan.
Yeah, he could be the one that decided to go do that after hearing rumors of Occasion, I don't know, humiliating, or the eventual point of view could be considered humiliating neonates or maybe even someone silly.
So I'm assuming you're aiming towards getting involved with Vivian. How
Yes.
do you figure that would go on? Her showing up later after hearing about you lecturing some neonates or disciplining them, or being there already?
I don't know what you think, Epic.
I think he was talking about Vivian being the one humiliating some neonates and Ancile, and he was going to try and fix the situation. Not that Vivian comes up and he's humiliating some of them.
I mean, I think he was... Oh, you mean Vivian specifically. I thought you were talking about Malkavian neonates fucking with things.
Yeah,
No, he was talking about Vivian.
Not
pretty sure.
specifically, but was somewhat implied that maybe she was the one doing it, or just around.
I think that works. Essentially, some neonates are doing some harmless pranks, the Ventru are getting butthurt, and then this older Ventru shows up to tell the Malkavians to stop picking on the younger generations.
That's great. Do it. Vivian will then show up after this. Just tell the older Ventru to stop picking on her neonates.
You know, it is all fun and games, but when you sharpen a bear trap to a razor blade's thinness and put it under some Ventruse carpet, that is not a harmless prank, Epic. Let me just add that to the record.
Learn, okay? He had to learn how the fortress crumbles.
I'm sorry, but morally, I'm on Bacon's side in this. So, this to me sounds like either a manipulation intimidation or manipulation politics for you, Bacon. Because you're trying to convince the Malkavians to fuck off and stay fucked off. Or at least tone it down.
Intimidation or politics, right?
Yes.
I'm going to be trying to smooth the situation over once it's explained to me.
I don't think that using physical coercion with Malkavians is a good idea, so I will try to go with the
I mean,
politics
other
way.
than the one that's like, yes, daddy, show me how much you love me, mostly it's okay.
You might have a bigger issue in that case, but hey.
Yeah, that's the point. I will just get everything worse, so it will be a... Oh, it's a risky role in any way, so I'll go with manipulation politics.
What is your specialty in politics?
Camarilla.
I would say this would apply because you're trying to regulate the relations between clans in this.
Yeah,
So,
works for me.
and for you, I
Yeah.
think
Vivian
for...
is not going to be super on the side of the Malkavians once the disclosure of some of these pranks were made.
I would say
But
that
she's
for
going to
you,
be playing damage control, so...
yeah, for you it would be perception empathy epic actually, because once
Okay.
you've identified the problem spots, you won't have much trouble smoothing them over, but just picking through the mess they've made of the situation would be the challenge.
Okay. Difficulty with Auspex being so high. Because I'm pretty sure this happened later in time.
When would this have happened? I think this would probably actually be earlier.
Earlier?
Before New Orleans. So... yeah,
Go by
I think-
years, I don't know New Orleans off the top of my head.
The stuff that's happening in New Orleans is about the turn of the 19th century. Or
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah. I know that.
1800s and onwards.
1600s, 1800s. I would definitely have Auspex maxed out by that point then, yeah.
I'm not sure, because there's still 200 years more or less from 1750.
Yeah, but during that first century is when I bought Auspex up to 6. She focused on that almost exclusively for the first century of her life.
Given that it is a high focus for you, I will give you a -1 on that. But this isn't specifically about reading people directly so much as putting facts together from disparate sources, because the Malkavians often themselves don't know what the fuck they've done or why at times.
Totally. Don't worry. Makes sense.
So, yeah.
Time for some rolls.
So, yep.
Mildly successful.
I have Insightful, which actually probably does apply.
That would, yes.
And again, Vivian is just this amazing people with amazing girl rating stuff.
You know, she essentially just broke through your door and screamed that you don't step on that carpet one night.
I saved you some pain.
More like saved some neonate's life knowing Bacon.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, and with us having covered the first round of events, I think we can take a quick break here.